This thought question response is to prompt I, Bachelor in Paradise, sexual assault incident, which is bullshit, in my opinion. Which leads to the first thing. It says that the report didn't include that she instigated it. Although the video, the link that was there with that, even in the beginning, they couldn't not say that she instigated it. They got drunk. She jumped in his lap and started making out with him. There was intense rubbing. She took it to the pool where she wanted to have sex, and he couldn't even perform because of liquor dick. He was too drunk to perform. That's the term I came up with when I heard it. So it was her idea, drunk or not. It was her. She can't really play the victim. Her attractiveness playing a role, yeah, that definitely happens in life. Although they're both very good-looking people. They're celebrities, kind of, basically. I mean, I think they are. I never watched the show, but they're on TV. They're good-looking people. If she were known to be promiscuous in the past, how would that change things? I don't know her, of course, but just from this little incident, I would not be surprised of hearing that she was promiscuous or is promiscuous, and that's kind of the feeling that I got watching this. When does a woman become responsible for her actions while intoxicated? People should always be responsible for their own actions. It's easy to say that, yeah, I was drunk as an excuse, but don't drink so much if you know you're going to get crazy. I know things happen, but it was very much not okay of her to be mad and blame the producers for not stepping in and stopping it. The producers are not there to babysit her. She is an adult. She drank and she tried to hook up with someone. That is not anyone else's problem other than hers, and it was really just not respectable that she would say that they needed to step in and be upset that they didn't save her from her own actions that she initiated. She obviously, I believe that she initiated it. That's what happened. That's the facts. I don't even understand how she ended up being viewed as the victim. I understand alcohol, but she got drunk. I think the only reason she even played the victim was because she has a boyfriend. And I feel bad for that man. Also, clearly, the man in the video wasn't at fault, but they're still good. They're speaking on good terms. If there was any foul play, or even if she was so blacked out and regretted it when she heard what happened, you would think she wouldn't want to keep talking to him. Doesn't matter what psychological state the guy is in. It sure as hell should, but apparently not. Again, he was too drunk to even have sex. All of the advances were initiated by her, and he could not fulfill everything that she wanted to do. So, again, blows my mind that it would be viewed that she was the one taken advantage of. But, yeah. And also, oh, this is the next one. Are people harder on the man or woman in these situations? Which I've pretty much gotten into. They're hard on the man, even when clearly the woman was to blame. And it's really tough too, because obviously when these things do happen, it can be devastating. But a lot of times females make up false accusations for whatever reason, and it can ruin a man's life, and it really does. Even if they take it back, you can't take back, people will still always think what they think. I have a friend who, she never tried to make accusations to the law or anything, but all the time she would go over and see someone during the day and she'd make out with them, and then she'd go back later and smoke, and oh, he took advantage of me. Nah, bitch, you knew you were putting yourself in that situation. You gave him that. You, like, and especially after she did it once or twice, and I was driving her somewhere, I said, you need to decide before you get there if you're willing to have sex with this guy, because even I can see that you are putting out messages to him, yes, that you are down. And what do you know? I go to pick her up later. You should have stayed. He took advantage of me. And needless to say, I don't put up with her shit anymore, but I thought she would learn. Some people just don't learn, I guess. Maybe she has to learn the hard way or ruin someone's life. I don't know. But it's really sad that people can't take responsibility for their shit and hurt others more than themselves, really. Of course, it can go the other way too, but what constitutes consent? Does there need to be a verbal yes? Obviously, initiating it, taking it further, being actively involved in, I don't know, just, I feel like, your body language, again, kind of gives consent. Of course, you could still, you know, even if you aren't comfortable with it, but you're kind of scared of the person, so you don't want to really push them away. But I feel like you can still tell when someone's into it. If they're not engaging, then maybe not so much. And it may be awkward to say literally, like, yes, I give my consent, but it can definitely be verbally stated. Perhaps like saying, oh, I want you, or something. That's giving a consent without being like, yes, I consent to having intercourse. And then on the other side, what constitutes sexual assault or rape? Saying no, even if you don't, like I said, physically push the person away because you might be scared. Or you do try to push the person away or try to get out. That's not giving consent. And when you say no, you need to actually say no and say it firmly. Don't pull that, oh, this is so wrong shit, because that's hot and that's not saying no. That's giving a little bit of like a freaky aspect. That's not saying no. That's making it more exciting in some weird way that we're wired. You gotta, say no, I'm not okay with this. And use that voice. Don't be, and pulling away, of course, not engaging, like I said. Those are all things for the victim to do to constitute sexual assault or rape. And then for the aggressor, of course, continuing to make advances through these things. But the main thing that kind of fits into like everything that they might do is exerting power over the other person, because that's what it's about. It's not about sex. It's about power. It's an aggressive act. That's not what happened in the Bachelor in Paradise sexual assault incident. So that made me mad. Obviously it made me think of some things in real life that it's rough that it's like this. I wish that, I don't know, that bitch was not cool. I sure hope that the guy is not in too much trouble or whatever. I don't know. I hope her boyfriend realizes what really went on.